joined us to share in this very important occasion. Our Governor, Gavin Newsom. Our former Governor, Jerry Brown. Our Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court, Patricia Guerrero. My Assembly partner, Speaker Robert Rivas. A number of former pro tempores are here with us today. I saw John Burton, Darrell Steinberg, and Don Parada. Our Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Koulonakis. Our Attorney General, Rob Bonta. Our State Controller, Malia Cohen. Our Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurman. Our Board of Equalization members, Ted Gaines, Sally Lieber, and Antonio Vasquez. And of course, our iconic civil rights champion, Dolores Huerta, is with us today. And I hope they'll stand. We're honored that several former senators and assembly members are here celebrating with us today. We welcome you back to the Capitol. Former members. If ever there's a day to come back, today is that day. Thank you. We want to also welcome local elected leaders from across the state, including a few dozen from the North Coast. We welcome you here today. We are also grateful to have so many tribal chairpersons and tribal leaders joining us this afternoon. We are honored by your presence. Thank you. I hope I have not forgotten anyone, but let me just say each and every one of you are very important guests today, and we, the Senate, are honored to have you here with us today. With that, Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Allen, Alvarado Gill, Archuleta, Ashby, Atkins, Becker, Blakespeare, Bradford, Caballero, Cortese, Daly, Dodd, Durazo, Eggman, Glazer, Gonzalez, Grove, Hurtado, Jones, Laird, Lamone, McGuire, Menjivar, Min, Newman, Wynn, Nilo, Ochoa-Bogue, Padilla, Portantino, Roth, Rubio, Sayarto, Skinner, Smallwood Cuevas, Stern, Umberg, Wahab, Wiener, Wilk.
A quorum is present. Without objection, Senate Rule 55 will be suspended to allow guests on the Senate floor and a photographer for today's session. At this point, would the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this afternoon by our chaplain, Sister Michelle Gorman.
Let us gather in the presence of one another and in the presence of our Creator of many names and manifestations. God of all peoples and times, as we celebrate the transition of Senate leadership to Senator Mike McGuire, we celebrate not only the person, but also the story of the entire state of California. We acknowledge our ancestors, the indigenous Nisenan people of this area, and all our ancestors, both physical and spiritual, throughout our history. California is the state that over the millennia has evolved into majestic landscapes of rugged mountain ranges, vast canyons and valleys, windswept deserts, and pristine coastlines. The abundance of this piece of earth has provided resources of food, water, fabric, and shelter from the variety of farmlands, lakes and rivers, plants and trees, enabling the flourishing of life in many parts of our world economy. Today, we celebrate California's almost 40 million people of diverse ancestry, talent, treasure, ambitions, and desires, all contributing to the ongoing growth and evolution of the state, resilient and adaptable to its multiple challenges. We pray in gratitude for this legislature, willing to serve as leaders, planting new seeds that one day will grow, watering seeds already planted, knowing the future promise that they hold. And we pray in this new session, Senator McGuire and Senate members, may integrity of soul be your first ideal as the ground where leadership and prosperity intersect. May your work be infused with passion and creativity. May you welcome your own vulnerability, opening your heart to the source that will guide and bless your work. In your heart, may there be a sanctuary for the stillness where clarity and truth are born. And may you find support and encouragement from all members of the electorate who rely on you to accomplish this immense work. Gracious God, shed your light and inspiration on this legislature. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Please remain standing as the CAL FIRE Color Guard Local 2881 posts the colors. Color Guard, post the colors. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by students from the North Coast. Color Guard, retire the colors. At this time, we will hear from the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir performing "Open Your Mouth and Say Something, and We Shall Overcome."
Come on, everybody, put your hands together. Come on, put your hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go, here we go. Come on, come on, saints. Come on, saints. Everybody. Come on, saints. If I can't say a word, I just wave my hands. If I can't wave my hands, I'll stomp my feet. Everybody, praise the Lord with me. When I can't, I got to. Woo! Come on, everybody, make some noise. I know we in the council, but come on, make some noise. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. With your vote. Open your mouth. Say something. Say something. Hallelujah. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Woo! Open your mouth. Say something. Say something. Say something. Say something. Say something. Say love. Say joy. Say peace. California is gonna move the world forward with joy, with love, with peace. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Woo! We shall. You can sing it with us. We shall overcome someday. Way down in my heart. Shall overcome with our love. We shall overcome. Take it a little higher. It's gotta get better. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Gotta get it better. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Woo!
Thank you so much.
You all can take a seat for a few minutes. They will be back in a little while. But next, we are going to hear a spoken word performance by poet Brandon Leake.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is, as mentioned, name is Brandon Leak. I hail from good old Stockton, California. I'm excited to get the chance to share a poem with you all entitled Mosaic, what I hope to be both a challenge for us to be better and a comfort for the fact that we are putting people in place to be better. So here we go. In the great state of California, on a day like this, I hope that we all win. That political party aside, we look across the aisle to our brothers, our sisters, our siblings, without contempt for one another, without political agenda interfering with true morality, with our hearts on display, eager to be the good Samaritan at the pit, to be Jesus at the well, to seek to serve before we are first served for the best interest of our God-given gift that we call life. Progressing towards a greater tomorrow, knowing that it is a journey we all must travel, and this odyssey we still embark on has been bloody, for there is no progression without recognition of the road that we have traveled. Recognition of the road that has been occupied by imperialism, industries founded on racism and sexism, a divided country in which too often points the finger, not realizing that we have only ever been staring in the mirror, a reflection of our other self. And on a day like today, I pray with love and compassion that we extend hands of forgiveness and grace, courted by acts of equity, that we all may win, that we recognize we are a mosaic, a wide array of colors and cultures with unique histories that need not be assimilated to uniformity, but instead admired and understood, for the only way we will ever make it to the other side of this pain is if we do this together, for the brightness of your hue does not diminish my own. The only limits to this truth are the ones that we put on, because the truth is, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. But as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people the freedom to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So if you all would please take my words as lyrical liberation. They paint the sky with all the colors of my soul. I see the beauty that God has placed inside of each and every single one of you. So please come paint the skies with me too. There is plenty of canvas to go around, and on a day like today, I pray that we all win.
Brandon, thank you for that spoken word performance. Senators, our next order of business is Senate third reading, file item number 8, Senate Resolution 62. Senator Atkins, are you prepared to take this item up?
Yes, Madam President.
She is. Madam Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 62 by Senator Atkins, relative to the election of the President pro tempore of the Senate.
Senator Atkins, the floor is yours.
Colleagues, I rise today to speak on behalf of this resolution, Resolution 62, regarding our colleague from Healdsburg, who will serve this House and our state admirably as our next Senate President pro tempore. Senator, I know you don't like talking about yourself. You'd rather focus on the issues and the work, but you have an important story, one that is compelling and includes struggle and determination, and on one that is underscored by a deep connection to family. I'll let you tell it, and you should tell it often, but I think it's fair to say that your respect, your support, and your promotion of women throughout your career is a testament to your upbringing, and one of the things that I respect the most about you. You've been the Senate's chief negotiator on some of the toughest challenges facing our state, including climate and infrastructure. And if anyone doubts your ability to untangle tough problems, I would just remind them you have a toddler with shoelaces. Although not today, that's probably good. You represent a district that sometimes may have been overlooked and has certainly been overrepresented in terms of the damage from wildfires and climate change. We all know you have the energy and you have the capacity to extend your tireless advocacy for your district to include all of our districts. As a member of the Women's Caucus, as a member of the LGBTQ Caucus, and as a Southern Californian, I am 100% confident that the Senate and the entirety of California is in good hands under your leadership. This is my 4th transition, so I think I know. I know that you and your team will continue to do great things for California. You have been an outstanding majority leader, and you will be an outstanding pro tem. Senators, I ask for your aye vote in support of this resolution.
Senator Dodd.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem, members, and guests. It's my great honor to speak today on behalf of my friend and colleague, Senator McGuire. It's a friendship that goes back to our days on the Board of Supervisors for Sonoma and Napa County. And that loyalty runs deep. We were elected to the legislature the same year and served in overlapping territory when I was in the Assembly. We've worked together on more issues than I can possibly recount. I can say emphatically that there has never been a better partner in delivering results for our region and our state. We've worked closely together after the massive 2017 wildfires in Sonoma, Napa, Lake, and Mendocino counties. You'll learn a lot about a person in the time of crisis. And I can say unequivocally, you want McGuire by your side in those dark days and in the long roads that follow. You always can rely on him to do the right thing. Not for credit, but because he cares and is driven to make a difference. Senator McGuire constantly delivers, which is no surprise since he works day and night. He is truly the hardest working public servant I've had the pleasure of knowing. It's a lesson he learned from early from his incredible mother, Sherry McGuire. He's only got one speed, it's full throttle. And at the same time, he doesn't let any details slip. Senator McGuire is collegial, but hot damn, he's tough. For those of you who don't know, that's you know. Just so you didn't think I was getting irreverent on the floor. When people are in need, he doesn't take no for an answer. There's no one better to assume the role of Senate President Pro Tem at this critical time to represent us with the governor and the Assembly to achieve the Senate's priorities and, most importantly, to move California forward. So please join me in electing Senator Mike McGuire as the 49th President Pro Tempore of the California State Senate. Yay. Thank you.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Madam President. Before I begin with my prepared remarks, I just want to compliment the Senate on that opening ceremony. What a great ceremony from the CAL FIRE folks, the Pledge of Allegiance. But I think I would want to make a motion that we have the Oakland Gospel Choir open every Senate session for us. That was fantastic and very encouraging for the entire body and hopefully the entire state of California. Madam President, I rise today as the Republican leader for the California State Senate in support of SR 62 to elect Senator McGuire as the next pro tem of the Senate of California. I've had the pleasure of working with Senator McGuire in his role as majority leader now for a couple of years, and we've developed a close, trusting working relationship. In this time, Senator McGuire has proven to be an effective communicator and to be fair and honest. While we often disagree on policy and sometimes procedure, he has earned my trust as we work together efficiently to get through deadline after deadline over these next couple of years. He is an honest broker who is willing to reach across the aisle for the good of all of California. As I mentioned last week, he has some big shoes to fill, but I'm looking forward to calling him pro tem. California faces a tough reality right now, and I know that Senator McGuire is ready and up for the task. I'm sure we will have many more tough battles here on the floor, maybe in the press, and across the state of California. But those disagreements will always be on those things and never personal. They'll always be in honor of our shared constituents, the 39 million Californians that we all represent together. And I know that he will handle all of those issues with candor and respect, mutually respecting the House that we serve. We're going to miss seeing him running around the floor with his earbuds in, flying around like the Energizer Bunny, as one of the articles pointed out last week, while keeping all of us in check. But we look forward to his enthusiastic leadership, guiding this House forward for success this year and several years to come. I support SR 62 and ask for an aye vote in support of Senator McGuire.
Senator Smallwood Cuevas.
Thank you, Madam President. Good afternoon, colleagues. Today is a momentous occasion as we celebrate our new pro tem, the 49th California Senate pro tempore. It marks an important moment both in democracy and for the well-being of this deliberative body. We are here to celebrate the election of Senator Mike McGuire, and if the bagpipes and the choir is any indication, that roots matter. Where we come from matters. And though we may come from different experiences, that's what drives us every day. And I want to say, you know, there's the hardest working man in show business. You are the hardest working man in the California State Senate, and it's been my honor to work with you as a freshman. The role of the pro tem requires exceptional leadership and a commitment to serving all people across our state, regardless of race or gender, regardless of whether we're from the North or from the South, regardless of whether we're from rural areas or urban areas or our economic status, because every voice matters. And you have made sure that our voices have been heard. Many of us who have worked with Senator McGuire understand his commitment to these values and his higher level of leadership that comes from the hard work that he has done over the years. He's reached out to others, particularly to me as a freshman, to offer assistance, mainly, where are you going when the votes are happening, the last day of session, waving me down. He fully invests himself in the work that ensures others succeed, often including them directly in decision-making process and outcomes. And last September, Senator McGuire visited my district, and my community embraced him and enjoyed his day-long tour with us, where we sat down and talked with workers at different work source centers. We went to community hubs. We went to building trades training centers. We had conversations about cannabis, and we listened to the requests for doubling down on the lives of Californians in a real way. To be frank, this new pro tem is committed, has made commitments to me about ensuring we focus and center marginalized communities, and he's demonstrated a deep and sincere interest in understanding the needs of all of the folks in my district and others. I have since spent time working with Senator McGuire throughout the Capitol, working on a number of projects, and if you can keep up with his pace, walking over to Starbucks, I think I lost a couple of pounds on a few of those trips, keeping up with his stride. But in all sincerity, he considers every interaction relationship building. Building a relationship that is based on listening, hearing, and more importantly, taking actions. Taking actions to lift people out of poverty, to build pathways for quality jobs, and to build a more equitable California. He is committed to representing the state, ensuring that we don't repeat the old biases of the past, that we appreciate our diversity and our strength. And just as civil rights activist poet Audre Lorde said, it is not our differences that divide us, it is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. And I believe our new pro tem understands that deeply. And I look forward to working with him in the future, working collaboratively with this body to ensure that California becomes its greatest self. Thank you so much, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Senator Gonzalez.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I come to you today as a good colleague from Long Beach, but also as the Vice Chair of the Latino Caucus, representing 38 incredible members, many of which who are here today. Also a member of the Women's Caucus. But McGuire, he's the son of Sonoma, a third-generation Northern Californian, grandson of farmers, doting dad and loving husband, who we hear all about, both Erica and Connor, and known around here for digging in and getting things done, as the good senator from Hillsburg should. Now in this moment, our next Senate President Pro Tem. I also heard he's a pretty darn good auctioneer. So at the next state fair, you should probably see him there. But I can tell you that many of us appreciate him, his positive demeanor, down-to-earth approach, and authenticity. He's like the friend you've always known. These are the attributes that make his presence and leadership both welcomed and certainly dynamic here on the red carpet. In fact, we jokingly, as many people have talked about, we call him the Energizer Bunny because he literally runs laps around us and around this Senate floor as if this were the high school track that he came from in the northern coast. He literally runs circles around us. And many of us had no idea he had a desk until today because he never sits down. Good to know. But this McGuire energy, as we all know, is all for good reason, because you'll often find him working closely with colleagues on both sides of the aisle from our various regions and varying opinions and priorities to explore the creative solutions that we need for the good people of the Golden State. And everyone who knows him well knows that he loves his work groups upon work groups, and more work groups. And as a senator who has often been tapped for many of these work groups, outside of your committees and other duties, then afterwards, after the frustration wanes, consider yourself lucky. And I'll tell you why. As you get a front row seat to his collaborative leadership in action, pushing you to become a better member. In a room full of responsibilities and possibilities, the art of compromise, integrity in a transparent process, always pushing you to show up where it matters most, which is everything he stands for. So with that, friends and colleagues, his success is our success, and we have all seen his impactful leadership across not just this floor, but across California. And especially for some of us who represent underserved communities, we know how impactful this leadership will be, from healthcare to housing, climate to good jobs, and justice for all, and to a good old-fashioned St. Patrick's Day party every year. And for how the heck are you doing? We thank you so much for your work, and we appreciate you, and we know you'll continue the incredible leadership of Pro Tem Atkins and all the good work here from each of our senators. With that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Senator Limon.
Thank you. Members, today I want to say a few words about our incoming Pro Tem, Senator McGuire. He and I have worked together on some of the toughest issues facing our state, and I know how hard he works for members, our House, and the state. I have witnessed firsthand how much time he dedicates at all hours of the day and hours of the night on all issues that come his way. No matter whether they're from his district, this district, or any other district. I know that he has been there for all of us as colleagues, and I know that he will continue to be there for our communities and for this state. As a senator who represents multiple counties and cities, rural, urban, suburban, inland, coastal, Senator McGuire understands in a deep and meaningful way that no matter how different our 58 counties are, or how different our 482 cities are, we are one California. He understands and sees that because this House has 40 senators who reflect both the differences and, more importantly, the richness of our state. After our state battled some of the largest wildfires recorded in California history, we passed successful wildfire legislation, learning from the lived experiences of the people and the communities who were so severely impacted. And Senator Mike McGuire helped make that happen. Year after year, including this very moment, we are reminded of the impacts of climate change. And we know that every person who lives in our state feels that. That's why our state has led the nation in passing climate change initiatives to protect our communities. And Senator Mike McGuire was there to help make that happen. In the last 48 hours, we have watched our roads and infrastructure be plummeted by a storm. Our roads and infrastructure are what physically connect and hold up the people and our communities. That's why our state led in passing an infrastructure package that not only addresses the needs of today, but those of tomorrow as well. And Senator Mike McGuire helped make that happen. I am confident that while Senator Mike McGuire has been there to help our state navigate through complex issues like climate change, natural disasters, and infrastructure, he will also be there to help the Senate, our communities, and our state lead on every other issue that comes our way, no matter how crunchy they are, as he would put it. Members, it's also not lost on me that there's one important experience Senator Mike McGuire brings. One-third of Californians are working parents. Senator Mike McGuire knows the incredible blessings and challenges that come with being a working parent, like so many know in our state. Erica and Connor, I know today you stand proud to see Senator McGuire, what Senator Mike McGuire has accomplished. And well, Connor, you may not exactly remember what's happening, but need not worry, YouTube will have a video. Just know that many of us have watched how hard your husband and your father works. But also know that at the end of the day, there is nothing that puts a smile on his face like when he gets to video chat with you, Connor. Members, join me in supporting Senator Mike McGuire as the Senate Pro Tem for the great state of California.
Senator Wiener.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, I rise in strong support of electing Senator Mike McGuire as our next President Pro Tem. I also just want to say I've served over 7 years with Senator McGuire, and I actually think this is the first time I've ever seen him seated at his desk on the Senate floor. I'm sure it is taking all of his willpower to remain seated in that seat. Having worked intensively with Senator McGuire on so many issues over the past 7+ years, I know how deeply committed he is to this institution, to the people of California, and to the community he so passionately represents. Mike, I know you will do us all proud, and I know you will be a superb pro tem. Over the past 7 years, I've been able to see pretty much all sides of Senator McGuire. I've seen his intense loyalties to his colleagues, to his constituents, and to his staff. The people of the 2nd Senate District could not ask for a stronger representative. It's a tough district, from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Oregon border. For those of us who represent little densely populated little pinpricks on the map, tiny little geographic districts, it's hard to even get your head around what it means to represent a district of that size. He fights so hard for his community, whether it's in the budget, on wildfire policies, for fisheries, for all of the unique needs of the North Coast. I cannot even count the number of Saturday night 8 p.m. phone calls I would get from Mike, who's catching up and needed to talk about something, and he's going in and out of cell service because he's driving through Del Norte County or Humboldt, and it's just the dedication to being present in his district is extraordinary. One of my favorite McGuire stories is I have friends who have a home in Geyserville, and I was there about 4 or 5 years ago for Thanksgiving. And the Friday after Thanksgiving in Geyserville, they have the tractor parade, which you should definitely go see if you haven't seen it. And so we're at the tractor parade, and I hear someone say, hey, there's a tree lighting in 15 minutes up the street. And I said, you know what, I bet you McGuire is at that tree lighting. I'm gonna go over and say hi. So I walk up, and I get to the tree lighting. Not only is he there, he is running the entire thing from the stage, telling everyone where to go, what to do. And that is classic Mike McGuire, not just showing up, but making sure everything is going the way it needs to go. Mike is a strong legislator. He's not a headline-seeking legislator. He gets the work done. He was a strong committee chair, and I know this because I may have brought a few tough bills to his committee. I do that once in a blue moon. And Mike and I have negotiated so many bills over the years that I can't even list them all. It got to the point where we were sort of like a bickering old married couple. We would argue and push each other and push, but every single time we got it done. And one of the big reasons we got it done is because Mike never gives up. Even when you think you've hit a wall, he just keeps going and keeps pushing and keeps pushing. And I don't want to say he wears you down, because there's give and take, and he is an incredibly thoughtful person. But whether it is one of the many working groups, and like Senator Gonzalez, I've been on a few of them, or a situation where two members are having tension with each other, like significant tension, say a chair and a member, and there's escalating tension, Mike, he has this sixth sense, and he just knows there's an issue, and he gets involved, and whether it's solving a policy issue or de-escalating among members, he gets it done. And what happens if you've ever been in that kind of position, every 4 hours, a new meeting pops up on your calendar in McGuire's office, and you're like, why am I going to his office again? And you just keep going, and then it gets fixed. And he just never, ever gives up. I also just want to say that Mike is always there, I think, sometimes in quiet ways, for the people who need our help the most. People who don't have means, people who are not able to hire lobbyists, people who have never been to the Capitol and probably never will be in the Capitol, people who barely make ends meet, if they make ends meet at all, people who wonder what kind of future their kids are going to have, the people who are treated by society as disposable, as throwaway people, LGBTQ kids, people who are addicted to drugs, people who are or were incarcerated, people who society just treats as invisible and disposable. When you're trying to fight for those people, you don't even have to spend 1 second wondering if Mike McGuire is going to be there to help get the job done, to support the people who need our help the most. He is always there because it is in his heart and it is who he is. And he does all of this, and I don't know how, while being an incredible husband and an incredible dad. Erica and Connor, I am so thankful that you have loaned him to us and that you are loaning him to us in a much bigger way now. Mike, you are going to be so fantastic. You have huge shoes to fill from our icon, Tony Atkins. But I know that you are going to take what is already, and sorry, Assembly members, the greatest legislative body in this country and take it even higher. Congratulations.
Seeing no further discussion and debate, Madam Pro Tem, would you like to conclude? Would you like to conclude? There's no further discussion or debate.
I apologize, I was talking with the first family here. Colleagues, please, I respectfully ask for an aye vote on SR 62.
Senators, without objection, this resolution will be adopted by voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Senators, family, and friends, the next order of business is the oath of office. The oath will be administered by the Chief Justice, Patricia Guerrero. The following members have been selected as the escort committee: Senators Allen, Durazo, Menjivar, Cortese, Grove, and Padilla. Senators, please proceed to the rear of the chamber and escort the President pro tempore-elect and his spouse Erica and their son Connor to the rostrum.
Please raise your right hand and repeat, well, don't. Yes. And repeat after me. I
Mike McGuire.
do solemnly swear
Oh, dear Lord, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
where I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Easy for me to say.
Congratulations.
There we go. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Good afternoon. We are grateful you're here. Please be seated. I am so honored. I'm going to try to get through this without getting emotional. So first and foremost, we are so incredibly grateful that each of you are here and safe and sound in the state capitol after these torrential rainstorms and hellacious storm that has hit our state. It means the world to us. It means the world to this body. And I think that we can all agree that this storm is the top of mind for each and every one of us. You know, hundreds of thousands of Californians woke up without power this morning, knocked out due to the hurricane-force winds. Southern California waterways are over their banks. Dangerous mudslide conditions have taken hold, and a 100-year rainfall record was broken in the great city of Los Angeles. But thanks to the leadership of Governor Newsom and the amazing work of the State Office of Emergency Services, a few thousand emergency personnel have been mobilized, and the state is actively engaged and embedded in the response and recovery operations that are working collaboratively to meet the needs in impacted communities. And while this is a day to celebrate the great state that we all call home, and I am so honored that each and every one of you are here today, we hold those communities who are impacted by this ferocious storm close in our hearts this afternoon. The Golden State has had its share of massive disasters, as Senator Lamone so eloquently noted. These disasters have hit us over the last decade, and we need to acknowledge and thank all of those who are once again answering the call, responding to this emergency. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and ask us to give a round of applause to the first responders, utility and public works crews, and Caltrans who are working 24/7 to respond to those in need. Can we please say thank you? And if I know one thing is true about this state, we are never better than right now. We are never better when we are helping our neighbors in need. And this is truly the California way. To everyone who traveled from far and wide, especially those from the beautiful North Coast, thank you for your friendship and thank you for your tireless support. I'd like to be able to start out with this. I have never seen these Senate chambers so full of energy, dedication to doing good, and a relentless pursuit to tackle the tough challenges that face this great state than I have today. There's never been a greater passion, I hope you'll agree with me, never been a greater passion to keep the California dream alive. And here's why. This Senate, this august body, is more representative of the Golden State than any other time in our history. The chamber has a record number of women serving. Let's give them a round of applause. There are more members of color in the California State Senate than any other time in our history. There are more LGBTQ members in the history of the Senate serving right now. And here in the Senate, we look more like the communities we proudly represent, and we stand strong for the values. We always stand strong for the values in the State Senate that separate California from the rest of the pack. California is proudly the most diverse state in the nation. No matter what you watch on cable news, we are America's economic engine. We prove to the world, absolutely. We prove to the world every day that we can lead on combating the climate crisis, and we can be home to the most innovative economy in the United States of America. And in California, we go to the mat for the rights of workers. We enact the strongest equal pay laws in the United States of America. Here in California, we take on income inequality head on. We raise the wages of the lowest paid workers, and we ensure that every worker has the right to sick time, and they have a right to maternity leave. And let's be crystal clear, who did this? Unions did this in the state of California. Let's not mix messages. Unions built the middle class in America, and they built the middle class right here in the Golden State. And here in California, I'm a fourth generation. It's all about all of us, always together, always forward. And it takes a team to do this. So I think we need to give credit where credit is due. First and foremost, I want to look to my good friend, Madam Pro Tem Toni Atkins. You are one of the most effective and thoughtful leaders of our time. You are a trailblazer to so many in this state. You are a role model to millions. And I am so grateful to call you a dear friend and a mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear you loud and proud. We need to give it up for Toni Atkins and her amazing work here in the California State Senate. We love you. We love you. She's truly one of a kind. And I think we also need to say thank you to the state senators. The senators in this chamber, they are incredibly talented. They are people-driven and they are passionate. And they genuinely want to deliver for the communities that they proudly represent. And I say this not just for the Democratic side of the aisle, but to the Republican side of the aisle as well. Here in the state Senate, we put the people of California first. I also would like to acknowledge Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor Newsom, your work with this storm and so many other disasters, we are grateful. The gentleman behind me has devoted his life to making the lives of millions of Californians better. He has overseen this state through some of the toughest times in modern history. We owe him a debt of gratitude. We are grateful for your work. Let's give it up for our governor, Governor Gavin Newsom, ladies and gentlemen. We are also incredibly grateful that Governor Brown is here today, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. And I also want to say how grateful we are for your remarkable leadership, not just as governor, but for the past 50 years. You have made California stronger. We are incredibly disappointed that you didn't bring the dogs here today. But ladies and gentlemen, can we please give a round of applause to Jerry Brown? He said he's going to be running again. Oh boy, watch out. He also said actually the dogs are in the other room, so if you want to go see, there we go. We love you. I want to say how much we appreciate our Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis, who is here today, and to our previous Senate leaders, especially to those who are here, Mayor Darrell Steinberg, Mr. Don Parada, and of course, John Burton. Each of you have made a permanent imprint on the Senate and the state of California, and we are so grateful for your leadership. We are so happy that you are here today. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you, you have been an amazing partner during this transition. And I sincerely cannot say thank you enough. I look forward to working with you and all the Assembly members who are here today. We have an awesome responsibility, and I know that we are going to work together for all of California. He is truly one of the best. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for your attendance. Thank you. To the tribal leaders who are in attendance, thank you for your partnership, and we look forward to working with you day in and day out to make California stronger. I also want to say how grateful I am to the people who I get to work with each and every day. And I'm talking about the amazing staff team in our office. We've been through some of the most horrific wildfires in California history together, floods and a pandemic. And I'm in awe of your persistence and your service each and every day. I also want to say thank you to the legislative staff in this building. For all the work that you do on behalf of California, we are truly grateful. And this state is stronger because of you. And most of all, And most of all, I want to say thank you to my family, especially the amazing women who are in my life. You know, my grandma, Martha, was the rock of our family. She was a warm-hearted, hard-nosed rancher you didn't want to mess with, but she will always be my hero. But I got to tell you, she would be more excited that the 49ers are heading to the Super Bowl than me being up here today, so I think we need to do a Go Niners, everybody. And my mom, Sherry, there we go. Thank you, Papa. I can't say thank you enough for your courage to make the hard decisions, the patience, the persistence, and the grit. You did whatever it took to keep us moving forward. And I'm grateful. And I gotta say, I don't know what the hell I'd do without Erica. Marrying you was the best thing that has ever happened to me, the best thing that has ever happened to our family. I don't mean to get blubbery. And we struggled getting pregnant, and bringing Connor into this world has been the most amazing experience. I love you and I love Corn Dog so incredibly much, so thank you. Look, I grew up with a story like millions of California kids. I was a kid from a broken home in rural California, raised by a divorced working mom who gave everything she had to put food on our table and a roof over our head. I grew up working on my grandma's farm, slinging dirt and making sure that we got the harvest in on time. And like many kids, I struggled in school. And it's because of dedicated teachers who truly believe in me that I actually graduated. And this includes my 8th grade math teacher, who never stopped pushing me to do good. She is here today, and you helped change my life. I want to say thank you so much to Pat Sabo. Thank you. Thank you. So look, started working full-time my junior year in high school to help pay the bills and never looked back. We didn't come from a family with money or a name, but I took my grandma's lessons that still stick with me today. Work hard, work together, and never take no for an answer. I grew up in a big part of California with big trees, big skies, big waves, and big dreams. But I'm gonna be honest. Never in a million years did I dream like a kid like me could be in this position, a position that all of us are in the California legislature, the ability to help millions of this great state achieve their own California dream. And this is how we work as a Senate and as a legislature. This is how we work in the state of California. All of us, always together, always forward. You know, in other places in this country, a kid like me would have been forgotten, but not here in California. In California, we fight to lift up every person, no matter your background, your skin color, who you are, who you love, or how you identify. Here in the Golden State, we believe that anyone can do great things. We make sure that they have a roof over their head, a quality public education, good health care regardless of your immigration status, and an economy that works for all, not just a few. Are you with me, California? And look, when we look around this room today, we are incredibly honored to be joined by so many Californians who are helping others achieve their own California dream, to be able to make this state stronger for all of us. the firefighters and police officers who are protecting our communities, the teachers who are educating the next generation of leaders and innovators, the union leaders who are fighting on behalf of working families day in and day out, the farm workers who are the heart of America's agricultural economy right here in California, and the small business owners who are communities' economic engines. These are real people making real differences every single day. And this is who we are as the Golden State. California has given us all that chance. The chance to make shared progress. The chance to always move forward. The chance to do better, all of us, always together. And I gotta say, we're off to a solid start. There is no debate. California's America's economic engine. Our state has gained 3.2 million jobs since 2020, and now we have more jobs in this state than any other time in the history of California. We are investing more in our kids and public schools than ever before. You know, we've gone from dead last in the nation in per pupil spending back in 2015. Today, we are in the top 20 in America, and it's about damn time. And we're driving down the cost of student debt. We're driving down the cost of student debt. Over half of all community college students now attend college tuition free. And we're making major progress on home ownership and making more affordable housing available to all. And we did all of this. You did all of this while passing America's most consequential climate legislation, which will reduce emissions by 85% by 2045. Here in California, we believe that healthcare is a human right. And thanks to this legislature and to the governor, a staggering 92% of all Californians now have healthcare insurance. I want to point out Senator Durazo for her amazing work on this. We now have one of the highest insured rates in the nation, and it's because of the California legislature and the governor. But look, we're a big state, and we know that we got big challenges. We got a lot of work ahead of us. And here in California, we are committed to the priorities, not of corporate boardrooms. We are committed to the priorities of kitchen tables and neighborhoods all throughout this great state. When budgets get tough at home, families have to buckle down and live within their means. Here at the state, we know that we're going to have to buckle up because we know that tough decisions lie ahead. And mark my word, thanks to the work of this legislature and the governor, we are going to protect our progress, and we're going to build our foundation for the future as we deliver a balanced, on-time budget. And let's not mince words. California, no matter what our budget looks like, California will always lead the world combating this climate crisis. And working with the Speaker and the Assembly, the Governor and Senators in this chamber, we're going to pass a policy package this year focused on retail theft and a plan to help combat the fentanyl crisis. Are you ready to go, California? We're going to build more housing that's reachable for the vast majority, not the very privileged. And on homelessness, we know that we got work to do. We know that this crisis is appalling and it's unacceptable. And voters will have the opportunity this March to create over 11,000 acute mental health beds and another 26,000 new slots, mental health treatment slots in every corner of California. And we owe it to our communities. We owe it to our communities to have a smooth rollout of CareCourt. That's going to launch statewide this coming December. This life-changing program is going to help connect those who need help the most with essential housing, addiction, and mental health services. And on the economy, we know that manufacturing jobs are a pathway to the middle class. We know that we need to grow our manufacturing sector by fixing the electrical grid to get businesses hooked up sooner, and we need to connect these businesses. We got to connect these businesses with highly skilled workers, creating good union jobs in the process. And I want to wrap it up right here. California We are never going to stop working every day for our kids in public schools, expanding childcare for working moms and families. Here in California, we are going to ensure that the Golden State always stands strong for women, not just women in California, but women across the United States of America. The Golden State is going to be a harbor. We're going to be a harbor in the storm for safe and unfettered access to reproductive health care and abortion. And here in California, we are never going to back down from the NRA and this activist U.S. Supreme Court. We will always protect our communities and kids from gun violence. Are you ready to go? Look, elected officials, elected positions in this state, elected positions are temporary. I know that. But what's permanent is the work that we do to improve the lives of Californians every day. And here's my core belief. The highest calling in life that we all have is to help others, to fight for those who can't fight for themselves, and to work together no matter your party affiliation, because working together is the only way that we can make progress stick. California has always been the light of hope for the United States of America, the beacon of progress. And along with the Assembly and with the governor, we will continue to fight for all of us, always together, always forward. We're going to meet the challenge ahead with grace, courage, and determination, and we are never going to stop fighting. We are never going to stop fighting to make the promise of the Golden State possible for every Californian. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. God bless the people of the Golden State, and let's get out there and get the job done for California. Let's do this. Thank you so much.
Mr. Pro Tem, you had us all blubbering. And if you haven't started blubbering yet, this next rendition will get you there. As a closing musical performance, we will once again hear from the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir performing "Oh Happy Day."
Happy day, oh happy day, when Jesus washed, oh when he washed, when my Jesus washed, he washed my sins away. Oh, a happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed. Oh, when he washed. When my Jesus washed. He washed my sins away. Oh, a happy day. happy day. Oh, 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 it's a happy day. Thank God for a happy day. Thank God Almighty, it's a happy day. Thank California, it's a happy day. In the Senate, it's a happy day. Oh, yeah.
A big thank you to the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir for taking us to church today. There being no other business, the Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be placed, and we will reconvene Thursday at 9 a.m. Members and guests, for our final performance today, please welcome the Mariachi Bonitas de Denora Klingager outside the chamber doors. They will escort you to the reception.